The Quapaw Nation Business Committee regular meeting for Saturday, November the 16th, 2024 will now come to order at 9:03 a.m. Shane Ellick, would you please lead us in the invocation this morning? Thank you, Shane. I would now call on Secretary Treasurer Valier for the roll call and declaration of quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chair Supernal.
Present.
Vice Chair McKibben.
Present.
Secretary Treasurer Valier, present. Member Mercer.
Present.
Member Buffalo.
Present.
Member Davis.
Present.
Member Gibbs-Water.
Present.
Madam Chair, I declare a quorum.
Would you please call for the orders of the day?
Madam Chair, I call for the orders of the day.
Thank you kindly. We're going to try something a little bit different this month. We're going to attempt to do a consent agenda, which is basically a step toward running an efficient meeting that's allowable under Robert's Rules of Order. Business Committee, are there any corrections to the documents listed as part of the consent agenda? The consent agenda includes the October 19th, 2024 meeting minutes, the directors and subcommittee reports as submitted. Hearing no objections, we'll proceed to the vote. All those in favor of adopting and approving the October 19th, 2024 meeting minutes, the directors and subcommittee reports as distributed, please say aye.
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 All those opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The October 19th, 2024 meeting minutes, the directors and subcommittee reports are adopted as distributed. All right, we'll go on to the Business Committee report. We do have quite a few things to cover. First, the following tribal members have passed away since we last met: Matthew Atkinson, Troy Lee Holmes, and Quapaw Nation employee Theron Kitchen. Please lift these Quapaw families and all families in your prayers, and let us join in a moment of silence. Gunagay. We do have some announcements at Brett Devine's table over here. We have a sign-in sheet from Blaze Fagan. If you are a Quapaw veteran and interested in establishing a Quapaw Veteran Society, please sign up. We did have a good number of veterans sign up last week at the annual Veterans Dinner, so we know you'll be in really good company. Please sign up. Member Mercer, would you please provide a Ray Property Homes update for O-Guah-Pah, Tikida?
Yes, Madam Chair. On our housing development, we have 16 houses now standing with shingles on all of them. We lack 3 homes. We'll be putting in windows and doors this coming week. We are going to concentrate on houses 1 through 5 and try to have those complete inside by Thanksgiving. We will start setting the rest of them in about 2 weeks. They pulled off to do a house in Joplin, and then they're coming back, and we'll set the remainder of our required 20 homes. And yard work, if you drive by, you will see dirt has been put in and around all the first 5 houses, and that will proceed through next week. And that is about where we stand at the moment.
Thank you. Member Gibbs-Water, I know you have some announcements this morning.
Yes, thank you. First, we'd like to congratulate again the AARP honorees, Bill Griffin, Mary Cayuga, Carolyn Knott, and Myron Quapaw on, they went last week over to Oklahoma City and received the awards on behalf of the AARP organization. And there are blankets in the mail for them. I believe 2 of them have already received them and 2 are on the way. So we're still waiting to hear back on that. Just want to again re-congratulate them and thank them just for everything that they've done, because each one of them have been integral parts to our community and our folks, our people. And then at the same time, there's not too much on the grounds right now. Just Johnny and the rest of the maintenance technicians out here are still improving a lot of the water runoffs, and we're inside of a 30-day Section 106 review for improvements to the creek, so we're still in the waiting period. Not too much this month. We'll have more next month, so thank you.
Thank you, Member Gibbs Water. Member Buffalo, would you please provide the latest regarding the bear settlement legislation?
Yes, Madam Chair. As you may recall, last month I advised the members present at the meeting that 2 legal counsels, one for Group 1, which is the nation, and Group 2, joined together, and it was agreed that Group 1 would write the legislation. That bear legislation has been written, and Congressman Brashean's going to introduce it in the House, and then it will probably go to Appropriation Committee and maybe Natural Resources Committee, and then to the Senate. And I just found out a while ago from the chairman that Congressman Brashean and Senator Lankford are having a staff level meeting this Tuesday, going over the legislation line by line. So we went another step forward with the bear legislation. If it gets through all those steps, I'm sure that there's going to be contested by Group 2. But we'll just keep you advised as we go.
Thank you. Vice Chair McKibben has a Thanksgiving announcement.
Let us smoke your Thanksgiving turkey. The Quapaw Food Service Authority will smoke your turkey for you for $10 per turkey, and it needs to be dropped off by November 22nd, and it needs to be completely thawed, and pickup will be on November 27th by 3 p.m. So call to reserve your spots. If anybody needs the number, it's on this flyer, and I'll put it on the Brent's table over there afterwards. So if you would like to have your turkey smoked, there'll be a number available.
I know I did one last year, and I'm doing 2 this year. They're defrosting in the refrigerator as we speak, so I'm looking forward to it.
And I believe Linda has some background on that as well. So.
They were good.
Member Davis, I know you have an announcement regarding Christmas.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Hawaii. Christmas is just around the corner, and it really is the most beautiful time of the year. The application period for enrolled Quapaw Nation Children's Christmas begins Monday, November 18th, and will go through Saturday, December 14th for ages 18 and under by December 25th, 2024. The amount of the check will be $50 per child, and the application will be found on the Nation's website or at the administration office, Gunna Gay.
Thank you. Secretary Treasurer Linda Valier will address the subcommittee appointments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Please bear with me as we go through all the different subcommittees. We're doing mostly reappointments with subcommittees, and actually we'll be appointing some new people to some vacant positions. But if you'll bear with me, I'm going to go through each one of the subcommittees one at a time. The following will be appointed to the Cemetery Subcommittee with a term expiration of December 2025. These are reappointments: Linda Davis, Lloyd Buffalo, and Eric Eby. The following will be appointed to the Constitution Committee with a term expiration of December of 2025. Reappointments are Roman Cahiga, Johnny Rogers, Billy Schapp, Grace Goodigal, Derek Jennings, Nathan Phelps, Minnie Francis Hawk, Vance Gilmore. A new appointment is Abigail Logan. There's still one vacancy on the Constitution Committee that we will be filling shortly. The following will be appointed to the Culture Subcommittee with a term expiration of December 2025. Reappointments are Barbara Kaiser Collier, Everett Bandy, Braxton Red Eagle, Sean Ellick, Bill Griffin, Charlene Button, Reese Supernaw Proctor. The following will be appointed to the Election Subcommittee with a term expiration of December 2028. Reappointments are Frank Frazier, Lori Schaefer, Jana McCormick, Steve Owens, and Russ Garber as an alternate. And just as an FYI, it is not necessary to reappoint Julia Peebushy and Michelle Newton to the Election Committee at this time, as their term expirations are March of 2027 and April 2028, respectively. The following will be appointed to the Emergency Financial Assistance Subcommittee with the term expiration of December 2025. Reappointments are Sarah Hyatt, Beverly Jones, Joetta Smith, Patty Rice, and Todd Weaver. The following will be appointed to the Enrollment Subcommittee with the term expiration of December 2025. Reappointments are Charlene Button, Debbie Ray, Grace Goodeagle, Lloyd Buffalo, and Trenton Stand. The following will be appointed to the Event Subcommittee with a term expiration of December 2025. Reappointments are Karen Hildreth, Chance Turley, Kiara Smith, Larry Kropp, Lindsay Hickey, Mary Jacobs, Melissa Gaines, and Jeannie Ann Blaylock. The following will be appointed to the Ground Subcommittee with the term expiration of December 2025. Reappointments are Chayton Ellick, Charles Bertram, Don Caldwell, Jeremy Olson, Corey Scott, and Bladen Stand. The new appointment is Abigail Logan. The following will be appointed to the new Enterprise Development Subcommittee with a term expiration of December of 2025. Reappointments are Billy Schapp, Austin Headley, Gavin McCarty, Debbie Ray, Michelle Bowden, Laura Rollins, and a new appointment is Brian Jennings. Does anyone on the Business Committee have any objections to the appointments of any of the individuals to their respective subcommittees?
I do not. No objections.
Congratulations to all of the subcommittee members. Thank you for your service to the Quapaw Nation and your community as a whole. Ganagay.
Since the last special general council meeting that was held on September the 7th through the 8th, the Business Committee has met with the Constitution Committee and the Election Committee separately and jointly. The outcome is the Quapaw Nation Chair and Business Committee are calling a special general council meeting January the 18th and 19th at the Downstream Pavilion to cover 4 topics. First is to finalize the language to amend the governing resolution section 3 changes so the governing resolution and election ordinance are consistent. Second is finalizing the language to amend the election ordinance for 5 specific changes. Those include, first, changing the end of the first paragraph in the 2004 election ordinance from hereby establishes through this ordinance the policies and procedures by which elections for the Quapaw tribe shall be conducted, to inserting Business Committee in there. So the new language is hereby establishes through the new ordinance the policies and procedures by which elections for the Quapaw Nation Business Committee shall be conducted. And that's to clarify. The second change is to use the word days or calendar days, to change days and calendar days to business days, and that way throughout the election ordinance there's consistency. Third is changing the number of registered voter signatures required to recall an elected official from 250 to 30% in section 16.2 in order to recognize the growth of enrollment. Fourth is any petition must include date of signature, printed name, and roll number, and any petition started must be turned in within 45 days from the first signature to the enrollment and election committees for verification. The last one is updating the definition of a qualified voter and registered voter to include any tribal citizen upon achieving the age of 18. The third area that will be put forward is to propose a change in business committee terms from 2 years to 4 years for elections occurring after and if the change is approved. The proposed change will require updates to both the governing resolution as well as the election ordinance. And then the last topic is to finalize the language for the Tribal Employment Rights Act, commonly referred to as TARA. Please note a few things. We want everyone to participate and come prepared, so all details will be provided to tribal members at least 30 days prior to the Special General Council meeting. Our goal in the Special General Council meeting is to finalize the language changes. We will then refer the finalized changes to a referendum balloted vote per Section 14 of the governing resolution and administered by the Election Committee, so that all registered voters have an opportunity to vote on the changes. Now we're going to talk about some of the events that the BC attended last month, and that includes some National Indian Gaming Commission training, Saracen Hotel topping off ceremony, an intertribal council held a panel discussion for Leadership Miami earlier this week. Last month, the nation held the following events. In October, the Quapaw Historic Preservation Program held a book club in the community building. 2 more dates, book club dates, have been scheduled for November 7th and December the 12th. Materials can be picked up at the Quapaw Nation Library or by contacting the department, and additional details can be found online. The Federal Law Enforcement Training Centers held a tactical training the week of October 22nd to 24th at our facilities. The class helps prepare individuals to be instructors themselves so they can go back and teach local law enforcement in their communities. The Child Care Development Fund sponsored the children's Halloween party. There were free hot dogs, chips, and cookies, and the children enjoyed free games, prizes, and explored the free maze and escape room. I was a little afraid to go into the escape room without a child supervising me, so that didn't happen. But anyway, it was fun. On October 31st, the River Bottom Sportsmen held the Great Deer Hunt for disabled American veterans. Our marshals honored the veterans by escorting them from their hotel to the flag-raising ceremony held at Commerce High School on October the 31st. There were also several employees from the nation's Department of Public Safety that assisted with the hunt. We started Native American Heritage Month at Crystal Bridges, where Voices of the O-Guah-Pah was screened with a panel discussion afterwards. Thank you to O-Guah-Pah Communications, to all who attended, and especially the panelists, Barbara Kaiser Collier, Betty Gadke, Grace Goodeagle, and John E. Rogers. That event was moderated by Everett Bandy. O-Guah-Pah Communications actually added a new section to the short film focused on the mining years and the environmental aftermath. The Joplin Public Library hosted an exhibit that showcased Native art and cultural items from regional artists and local collections. This year, a special tribute to a pivotal moment in the Quapaw Nation's history, the 1824 Treaty, is on display, including a soft launch of the O-Guah-Pah Coffee's new 1824 blend, inspired by the historic treaty. The exhibit will remain on display throughout November, inviting visitors of all ages to explore the vibrant history and culture of the Quapaw Nation. The well-attended Quapaw Nation annual Veterans Dinner was held at Downstream last week. The Quapaw Nation truly appreciates our veterans, and the events committee held that dinner on November the 8th at Downstream Pavilion for our Quapaw Nation veterans and employees. Each veteran in attendance received a bag of coffee and a challenge coin as a thank you gift for their service to our country. November the 10th through today is Rock Your Mock, so please wear your moccasins. I did a couple of times this week and realized, there's no arch support, so it was kind of rough. I need to do that more often. So the Quapaw Nation and Northeast Tribal Child Protecting Team hosted the Oklahoma Indian Child Welfare Association Conference at the Downstream this last week, and it was very well attended from tribes, not only from Oklahoma, but throughout the nation. Earlier this week, Carrie V. Wilson, Bill Griffin, and Grace Goodeagle participated in the special celebration and ribbon cutting new experience at Angel Mounds. We're very appreciative of them since they traveled to represent the Quapaw Nation, and I'd like to read a short excerpt of the opening comments made by Carrie V. Wilson. Angel is an older and significant part of our Quapaw heritage. Before European contact, our people interpreted the cosmos, conducted ceremonies, planted, and raised their children. They are still buried here. This site is important to us, so in accordance with Presidential Executive Order 130067, signed May 21st, 2020, our nation formally recognized the significance of this site through a Quapaw Nation resolution that declared Angel Mounds State Historic Site as a sacred site. We sure do thank them for being there earlier this week. Thank you to the Culture Committee and the Culture Department. In cooperation with the Arkansas State Archives, the Quapaw 1824 tree was displayed yesterday at Downstream. Yesterday, the Quapaw Historic, they also hosted an event called Quapaw Jeopardy. I think Member Davis is sporting her trophy. It was an exciting trivia competition celebrating Quapaw culture and knowledge. Prizes, the trophy. Prizes were awarded, and it was open to everyone of all ages, and it took place in the Quapaw Tribal Library classroom. We do have a full list of upcoming events, so bear with me. The Quapaw Nation Museum and Higher Education Departments are hosting their first youth and adult art contest and exhibition. The event started earlier this morning at the Downstream Pavilion, and the art should be on display for the remainder of the day. The Quapaw Culture Division has partnered with Arkansas State Archives to arrange for the Quapaw Treaty, it's the original Quapaw Treaty of 1824, to be on display during the fall gathering today. Tribal members in attendance will be able to personally view the X marks of 15 chiefs. Quapaw Nation Fall Gathering will be held today at Downstream Pavilion from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some of the events scheduled include a cakewalk, face painting, children's arts and crafts, foot races, hand game, Indian dice, dinner will be provided, and more. You can view the 1824 treaty, courtesy of the Arkansas State Archives, during the gathering again. Also this morning, and it hasn't started just quite yet, but there will be a 1-mile fun run and 5K race. The event will be held around the scenic Downstream Casino and Resort. Registration starts at 10 o'clock. There's a $20 fee, and 11 a.m. is the race time, followed by awards at 12:30. T-shirts are available to the first 75 people that sign up to participate. O-Guah-Pah Communications will be holding a screening of Voices of the O-Guah-Pah documentary on November the 19th at the Harry M. Cornell Complex in Joplin, Missouri. It's the same physical site as Spiva Art Center. That's going to happen at 4 p.m. on November the 19th. And there will be a reception, and the screening is at 5:30, and then there will be a panel discussion at 6:30. There's another food distribution being held in December, courtesy of the Quapaw Cattle Company. The deadline to sign up is December 6th at 4 p.m. The distribution will include 10 pounds of ground beef and 10 pounds of ground bison. Quapaw Nation tribal members, one per household, are eligible to sign up for the distribution. Additional details can be found online. We are excited to announce an exclusive Heritage Night deal for Quapaw Nation tribal members. Take advantage of a $20 ticket for the Tulsa Oilers Native American Heritage Night game versus the Tahoe Night Monsters on Saturday, December the 7th at 7:05 p.m. in Tulsa. December 14th will be the Children's Christmas Party from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Quapaw Nation Fitness Center. Elders Christmas Dinner is being held on December the 21st at the Downstream Casino Pavilion Social hour starts at 5, and the dinner will be served at 6. The last upcoming event is the youth program will be holding a ribbon skirt class on December the 30th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Cahota Family Center Service Craft Room. It's open to individuals ages 5 to 24. The class size is limited, so please reserve your spot. All right, so we've got just a couple of updates on the gaming facilities financial results. So for Quapaw Casino, and this is for the month ending September the 30th, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization totaled $667,000 with a margin of 31.7%. This result exceeded the budgeted expectation by $324,000 and represents an increase of $92,000 from September of last year. Net income for the month totaled $840,000 with a margin of 39.8%. This also represents a positive budget variance of $510,000, and net income compared to September of last year increased by $229,000. Now, the Quapaw Casino development continues in the pre-construction phase. We have a request for a proposal decision outstanding right now where we are seeking audit firms for construction financial control. So we'll be making those decisions shortly. Downstream Casino and Resort, their October results have not become available yet, so we're going to skip them this month and we'll pick it back up next month. Saracen for October of 2024, their net gaming revenues finished slightly above budget at 0.7%, but down in comparison to prior year. Slot handle volume exceeded prior year by 6.7% and resulted in revenues exceeding prior year by 11.1%. Let's see. Sportsbook handle increased by 21.4% over the prior year, so that's still continuing to experience really solid growth. Saracen experienced 4 of the top 6 days in handle, which bodes well for sustained increased volume. However, as indicated by the national sportsbook providers, bettors experienced a historic run in October, and therefore hold finished the month at 4.2%. Due to the low hold, sportsbook revenue missed budget by $1.3 million. Considerable progress has been made on the development of the hotel and event center. The topping off ceremony for the hotel took place at the end of last month. From a budget perspective, the development is about 33% complete. Updates on when the facility will open will be forthcoming, but the early indicators point to fall of 2025. Refinancing of the 2021 credit facility, which would have matured December of 2026, was completed at the end of August, and Secretary Treasurer Vallier has reported on that previously. But that new financing includes $225 million term loan A and $125 million revolving line of credit, and has a maturity date of August 2029. The refinancing added a greater level of certainty to Saracen's financial future. Having the debt service in place for another 5 years enhances the ability to plan for cash flow needs well beyond the opening of the hotel and event center. This concludes the business committee report. Gunny game. Let's go on to the subcommittee reports. Do we have an update from the O-Guah-Pah Wisdom Keepers? Thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much, Brenda. And thank you for sharing that email with us earlier this week on those approved motions. All right, let's go on to the Cultural Committee. Thank you, Eric.
I'm sure Barbara would want me to give an update. So I just tried to compile one really quickly. I wasn't prepared, I apologize. But we were continuing to discuss the O-Gospel record, or the book, the record that came from the Orange Book. It's been digitized, and they're working on incorporating it into the phone system. We've had some previous discussion of that. Barbara's reported that we met with some of Bill Shawnee's family, and et cetera. We were continuing to work on that, discuss that. We're continuing to work on photos for a reference book of Quapaw clothing that would be in the library. More photos have been received, and we are continuing to ask if anyone has any they would be willing to provide copies of, that we would like those to include. We had discussions regarding the fall gathering, and stuff that we need to arrange for that. I wondered why my voice wasn't echoing. Can you hear me now? And then we also had discussions regarding a coffee label. The O-gah-pah coffee has been meeting with the cultural committee to discuss a coffee label they would like to create. And then we also discussed the Christmas open house that the cultural committee and the museum work on. They have set a tentative date of December 8th from 1 to 4 p.m. That was discussed in our meeting, and we are waiting to get that finalized with everyone that would be running it and get a flyer out, hopefully in the very near future. And then our next cultural committee meeting will be December 3rd at 1 p.m. And again, as a reminder, everyone is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Everett. Appreciate getting the date of tentatively 12/8 from 1 to 4 for the open house over at the museum. Thank you. Next, the Constitution Committee, Roman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The major thing that the Constitution Committee has going on is we've started our writing series. Began last night. We will also be going for the next 12 days, or the next 12 evenings. Today is an exception. Today we'll be meeting at the pavilion lobby, so that anybody goes to the fall gathering, we'll be there if they want to stop in and provide any feedback as to what we're saying. Today, we're talking about treaty rights and jurisdiction and our preamble. So if anybody has any feedback or would like to weigh in on what that's going to say, please feel free to stop by. After today, we'll be meeting at the Quapaw Farmers Market from 5 to 10 p.m. every evening until the 26th. And you don't have to be there right on time. I mean, we have that large window so that, if people work, people got families, got to put families to bed. If you could tune in later, we have a remote link available, so you could.
Well, that's no good.
You can log in on your phone, and all of this information can be found on the Quapaw Nation website also.
And you said the farmers market sessions from 5 to 10, that goes through what date?
So there's the specifics.
Thank you, Roman. All right, Election Committee, Frank?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Not a whole lot to report. We're kind of in a sleep mode until the next election cycle. We are still, with the McHale's help, we're still waiting to line up the last person, excuse me, last company we talked to about replacing our voting devices. That will be 3, and then we will proceed to look at them, decide which one offers the best bang for the buck, we'll say. Other than that, we're in between the election cycles. We'll have 3 positions coming up this July. all the election committee members, to thank you guys for having the confidence to reappoint us. We really try to do a good job, and I think we do an excellent job making sure everything's security-wise. There's no way anybody can cheat in the election. I've heard different, but there absolutely is no way a person can cheat when they're voting and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Are there any other subcommittees this morning that would like to speak? Oh, resident housing? Stephen? Thank you, Stephen. Great. Anybody else?
Restrictions of the housing that we had, 10 years ago, we had 2 weeks visitation.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so that will go on to the next one. Cuggy, I see that you're here. Would you like to provide an update for Downstream Development Authority and Quapaw Casino Authority?
Executive session, but it'll be at the end of the meeting, so we really try to go in executive session and then adjourn as soon as we come out, so nobody has to wait on it. So if you can make it by, it's at 1:30. Thank you.
1:30. Thank you, Cuggy.
And the
All right.
county met.
All right, we'll go on to the executive director reports. So those reports are targeted to the business committee. If others in attendance this morning have questions regarding their reports, please pose your questions during open forum. The executive director reports were posted to the tribal website earlier this week, some of them later this week, but so Eric Boone, CFO, do you have anything to report beyond your posted report? Thank you, Eric. Trenton Stand, Executive Director of Resource Management, do you have anything to report beyond your posted report? Thank you, Trenton. Executive Director Jerry Helms, Quapaw Facilities Authority, do you have anything to report beyond your posted report? Thank you, and Jerry's reports are really great. Steve Stand, Executive Director of Tribal Member Services, do you have anything to report beyond your posted report? Thank you. Charles Addington, Executive Director, Department of Public Safety, do you have anything additional to report? Thank you. Everett Bandy, Executive Director of Culture, do you have anything to report beyond your posted report?
I have nothing further to report. I would like to make a minor addition. You mentioned the treaty of 1824 being on display today. That will be from 1 to 5.
Oh, I thought it was 1 to 4. 1 to 5 is the 1824 treaty at the pavilion. Thank you. Do appreciate that. Barry Lindiff is out today. He's actually on Zoom. It is his anniversary, so we want to wish Barry and happy anniversary. So he's already posted his report for today. Okay, let's go on to reading correction and approval of the phone polls. Member Buffalo, I think you're actually going to take these as well as all the new business resolutions.
Yeah, it's real short today.
Sure do appreciate it.
This is poll number 38521, requested by Stacia Forvis. The resolution indicated included documents are for the Hunt Chat Pile sale to a company who has requested to purchase 100,000 tons The poll is necessary in order to not hinder the process and work for QSA. The vote on that was 7-0, and it was certified on 11/12/24 at 3:16 p.m.
Motion to approve phone poll 38521.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve phone poll 38521. Business Committee, is there any discussion? Hearing none, nothing, let's proceed to the vote. All those in favor of approving the phone poll, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion passes and the phone poll is approved. Let's move on to new business. Member Buffalo.
Resolution number 1624-A, a resolution authorizing the purchase of fee property and authorize the chairperson or an unauthorized representative to execute the purchase on behalf of the Quapaw Nation. Whereas the Quapaw Nation Business Committee supports the purchase of property, the Quapaw Nation Business Committee agrees for the outright purchase of the property. And therefore be it resolved, the Quapaw Nation Business Committee, that the nation's chairperson as an authorized representative of the Quapaw Nation is hereby authorized to negotiate and execute the purchase of the land and to promote tribal self-determination and such other uses as may be determined. I so move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve Resolution 111624-A. Business Committee, is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, let's proceed to the vote. All those in favor of approving Resolution 111624-A, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is approved.
Resolution number 111624-B, a resolution authorizing the Quapaw Nation Chair to sign and facilitate the professional services contract between the Osage Nation and O-Guah-Pah Communications, a limited liability company organized under the laws of the Quapaw Nation. Whereas the Quapaw Nation Business Committee wished to enter into a professional service agreement with the Osage Nation and O-Guah-Pah Communication, a limited liability company organized under the laws of the Quapaw Nation. Whereas the said contract shall be in effect beginning on the date which it is executed and signed by both parties and shall end upon the earlier of the following dates, December 19, 2025, or the date on which both parties have completed all obligations within the contract. Therefore, be it resolved, the Quapaw Nation Business Committee hereby approves Chair Weena Supinaw to sign and facilitate the professional services contract with the Osage Nation. I move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve Resolution 111624-B. Business Committee, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor of approving Resolution 111624-B, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries and the resolution is approved. We're going to move on to donations. The first one is the Afton Family Career Community Leaders of America. And we have a couple folks here, Desiree Pierce. Thank you. Go into the microphone, gives the folks on Zoom an opportunity to hear as well. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. I'm Desiree Pierce. I'm the Family and Consumer Science teacher.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't pronounce your first name properly.
Oh, that's okay. I'm the Family and Consumer Science teacher at Afton Public Schools. I am new this year. I took over for Mrs. Gardner. She has retired. I do know a lot of faces in here. I used to work at the Learning Center years ago, so It's nice to see everyone again. I am going to turn it over to our president, our FCCLA president, Brooklyn Greenfeather.
I'm Brooklyn Greenfeather. If you have any questions, we'd like to just get a half a beef from your processing plant, if that could be possible.
So when we received the donation request, one of the things that we looked into is the availability of the product itself. And fortunately, right now, we do not have, whether it's a quarter or a half, we do not have the product. And then on the timeline coming up, most of what gets processed through the processing plant is on behalf of external ranchers or organizations that are processing their beef. So we just don't have the product right now.
I just have a question. Brooklyn, if you could tell us a little bit more about your organization and what you guys do, and if there are any Quapaw tribal member students who are benefited by the or participate in your organization as well.
FCCLA is a Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. It is the only organization that family is our main focus. We do have a member in our organization, Nika Henry. She's going to go to state star events for meat identification. We do community services, we compete, and we also donate to the Pearl House every year.
And did you say that? Did you say Nika is a Quapaw tribal member? Thank you.
What is the Pearl House?
The Pearl House is located in Ghana. It's for young women there who are disadvantaged. Their mission is healing, opportunity, protection, and education.
Madam Chair, I would move to make a donation of $500 to the FCCLA Afton organization in lieu of not having the beef available.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor for a $500 donation to the Afton FCCLA. I hope I said that properly. Business Committee, is there any further discussion or questions on this particular motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the $500 donation, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries and the $500 donation is approved. We hope your fundraiser goes well.
Desiree, good to see you.
The next one is, I hope I say this right, Ramos TKD Inc., Olivia Tucker. And are Jennifer and Olivia on Zoom?
Okay, sorry. I was trying to figure out how to unmute.
Good morning.
Can you hear us?
We sure can.
Okay, great. So I'm Miss Jennifer. I'm with Ramos Taekwondo, and this is Olivia Tucker. And her nanny is just stepped out to go to the bathroom real quick. She'll be back in here in just a second. Yeah, they have us on here. So she has joined our martial arts school. She is joined as a trial for now. So that's where they purchased a trial for her to try out for 8 weeks to see how she liked it, to see how she did, and she's been doing a great job. They were kind of just looking for something for her to work through some grief and some loss that she had suffered, and she's been doing a great job. She's made friends. She's won a patch the other day for showing the most effort in class. She's got all of her stripes pretty much for getting her next belt, but she has to be in fully enrolled. So we often work with tribes or DHS to help facilitate some students that may not have the funds to be able to fully enroll. And so we were requesting 1 year membership for her, and then I believe we turned in an invoice for all that would be required for her for that year. Now, I did not attach for her testing fees, but we can do that later if we need to, but that's what we were requesting.
Thank you, Jennifer. Might there be some questions? Any additional questions for Jennifer?
I have a question. Jennifer, has there been an attempt to raise money through any other type of fundraisers?
So we don't have any fundraisers that are currently, and her Amy hasn't done, or Nanny hasn't done any fundraisers. No. Typically, we discount things on our side, and then I go to whatever resources I can find for the parents or for the students. So no, we haven't done any fundraisers.
Madam Chair, I move to donate $500 towards Olivia Tucker's fees for the Ramos TKD Incorporated.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor for a $500 donation. Business Committee, are there any additional questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving the $500 donation, please say aye.
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 All those opposed? Aye.
Yes.
Yes. So the motion carries and the $500 donation is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll proceed to open forum. Just a quick reminder, the open forum rules remain in place. In order to speak, an individual must have submitted the form or must pertain to topics on today's agenda. There is a 5-minute time limit, 1 trip to the podium. Please be respectful, use the microphone. No one submitted a form this month. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on a topic from today's agenda? Do you need a microphone, Peggy?
Here. I'm not sure this qualifies, but it's about an item that was on the minutes that we approved today from last meeting, so can we discuss that?
The minutes were absolutely on the meeting agenda for today.
All right. My question is, there's an item in the minutes where the Quapaw General Counsel attorney met with Terry Barker on the drafting of this final bill. And I'm wondering why or if the Barker Group is carving out a portion of that settlement, or is it all going to the general membership of the tribe? And if it is, why is it? Why is the Barker getting part of it?
So the draft legislation that the Business Committee reviewed, I want to say it's been within the last week and a half, it talks a lot about the arbitration and mediation process that all parties have agreed to. There's absolutely no reference to carving out a portion of the 137.5 million for Group 1 versus Group 2. That's the reason the arbitration and mediation are included in there. The legislation is for the appropriation of the entire 137.5 million, Cuggy. So as Member Buffalo stated earlier, the likelihood is we're going to walk down that mediation and arbitration process, but at this juncture, that is not a part of the active dialogue.
So I don't quite understand that. Are you saying that the tribe will divide up the entire 137 million amongst the members and not, there won't be any additional amount for Barker or any part of that 137,000 other than because they're a member of the tribe, they'd get a portion. Is that the way it is?
We don't know the answer to that question yet because we have not undertaken mediation and arbitration. That won't happen until after the legislation is introduced and approved.
Okay.
Anybody else who would like to speak on a topic from today's agenda? I think there was another hand raised. Brenda Murray? Let's get a microphone over to Brenda.
I just have a question on the chat sale. What is that bringing now by the ton?
Oh, I don't even know. Trenton?
Piles vary, just based off of quality and amount. So the business committee obviously has a vested interest for the tribe's portion. So if you want me to release what this particular one is, I'm happy to. But
I don't have any concerns about that. Anybody else? Please.
okay, I think this one's $3 or a little over. I don't have the exact cent, but I know it's 3. If it's not exactly 3, it may be a little over, but it's $3. The hunt pile it was back off 20 Road out in the woods, so it hadn't been touched, processed over and over again. So processors were bidding against themselves trying to get that pile because they wanted it. So, and this is the second sale on that chat pile. So it was $3 or $3 and change. I know it was at the $3 mark on that one. Yeah.
Thank you, Trenton.
You're welcome.
Any other items for open forum? All right. Vice Chair McKibben, would you please close us out in prayer?
Yes, ma'am. Dear Father God, Savior Jesus, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for letting us all come together here and conduct business on behalf of our nation and our people. Thank you for the folks who were able to make it over here this morning, and the ones who are going to fall gathering, watch over them, give them safe journeys over there and safe travels back to their home places. Let them get back there and find those in good order, please, Creator Father God. Watch over all our folks today, ones who aren't here with us, ones who are sick and ill, kind of suffering from things, our mourners. Please help them out. Watch over them. Bless them, send them that spirit, and give them that comfort and that peace. Thank you again for this beautiful day, and watch over all our folks again. Okay, make a motion to.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We stand adjourned at 10:03.
1 hour. Who said 1 hour yesterday?
Recording stopped.